Karyn Bryant welcoming you back to MMA Heat. Still to come, the mental coach who gets Rashad Evans ready to fight. But right now, it's time to meet UFC talent coordinator Burt Watson. If you've ever watched a UFC weigh-in, then this man is very familiar to you. And if you've ever been to a fight, you're lucky enough to be backstage. When you hear his voice, that's when you know it's go time. He is responsible for getting the fighters where they need to be on time and without incident. And here is your chance to get to know one of the most loved guys in the UFC organization. So what was your first UFC show?
UFC 30. Wow. That was my first. That was the, you know, honestly, I met Dana when I did Kostizu and Zab Judo. And, you know, someone introduced us and, you know, Dana had a nice smile, a firm handshake, a sincere handshake. You know, I'm from the street. I know a good handshake when it's sincere, when it's real. And, you know, he was starting this organization, and I really didn't know that much about MMA. You know, I was familiar with Bruce Lee, but not MMA per se. And he said, yes, I'm starting this organization, and this was in November, I think, and then I got a call in February or March that there was going to be a show. And I was good to go because I wasn't really working at the time. I didn't have. So I did, and that was my first UFC was UFC 30.
And who was the main event? Do you remember?
No, but I remember Kevin Randleman and Coleman there, and Phil Baroni, and a little bit of a ruckus going on.
With Phil Baroni, what a surprise!
In the middle of the night, and at that point I was like, oh hell,
it's on.
What is this?
People will say things like Anderson Silva is overrated, or you know, this and that. I mean, you've seen these guys grow. You've been around them. You've seen incredible knockouts, incredible submissions. Do you think Anderson is overrated? I mean, do you think any? You know, what do you think when you hear the criticism that some of these fans give these guys?
Well, I think the criticism is justified from a fan because fans are allowed to have their own opinions in that point. But as far as Anderson Silva being overrated, I've seen these guys, MMA fighters and UFC fighters, progress at such a rate, at such technical skills as wrestling, grappling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, throwing punches, technically creating positions. I've seen that, and I've seen boxers at a high level, you know, and I've seen these guys' skill levels, the things they have to learn to survive in that cage is unbelievable. And you know what, if someone's never done anything for more than 3 minutes, they're not going to know it.
Well, even before we came out to do this interview, we were just joking around with Quinton and Sheik Congo and stuff. I mean, I know you've made some serious friends here in Serious Bond. They're some of the funniest guys I know. I mean, really. Just in general, I know that you got so many friends here.
You know, you get what you give, and I give it from here because I feel it, you know. They've all made me feel comfortable. They've given me a comfort level to give them a comfort level. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm surprised, you know, how comical and funny these guys are when they gotta do that. Okay? I mean, you know, that cage out there, it amazes me. And you know what, you would never know that they do what they do. And they all have their own different personalities, which everybody does, but someone in this profession to be as friendly, as fun-loving as they are, they're very, very outgoing to the fans. They love the fans, and you don't know what Rampage might say, or Chet Congo. You know, for that matter, you know, I get a few jokes every now and then out of Matt Hughes, Crow Cop. You know, they
really Crow Cop. Well, I saw him Punk Morrow years ago, and that was hilarious.
Oh man, I mean, you know what? Nothing surprises me anymore because they all. George St. Pierre. Last night, I mean, he went through a routine imitating me.
Oh no!
That you know.
But have you ever gotten the call at 4 in the morning, Burt, you gotta help me out, Burt. I'm somewhere I shouldn't be, Burt. I'm in a situation, Burt. I need some money. Any of those? Yeah, I've gotten a few of those. Yeah. You know, but I've gotten them because I asked for them. I tell them all the time, I don't care what it is, baby. If it's up here,
I want it here.
Yeah.
I tell them if it's in here, I want it here. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you need me, you better call me. Well, I shouldn't have said that, because they do. They call me, and they call me for anything. And it's a good thing, because if I don't go, the wrong person is going to go. And then they're in trouble. I've gotten them out of trouble a few times.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Man, I could talk to Burt Watson for hours, and if you ever get the chance to talk to him, you have got to ask him about meeting President Obama. It is a great story. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll go to the gym with UFC lightweight Kamal Shalaris.